Hello everyone and welcome to Soul Show. Today I'm going to be doing I've done some like this before. When I first started reading comic books, I didn't feel ready to do reviews on them because I don't know shit about comic books. And I kind of feel the same way about manga, where, I've read a little bit more manga than comic books, but I still, I've only finished like a couple of series, so I feel very weird doing manga reviews. So with the comics, my solution to that was, let's do a series called New to Comics, and you can slowly but surely, as I'm a very slow comic book reader, and a reader in general, it takes me a while to get through these. And the same goes for manga. And my solution, again, was to bring a series called New to Comic Books, and I'd kind of just, do a review, but at the same time, it would set an expectation. It would kind of give you a guide as me getting into comics. And so I'm basically doing the same thing, except now I'm doing it with manga. And until I'm comfortable doing manga reviews, I guess that's how I'm going to format it. And I'm going to be doing a review of Sankarea. I still don't know how to pronounce it, despite the fact that I've watched the anime and now completely read the manga, which is about 56 chapters, which, it's probably the most chapters in a series that, I've actually completed the series. I know I've read a couple other ones, but they were shorter than this. And I obviously was interested in the manga because I watched the anime. I have a review out for the anime if anyone's interested in that. It follows a girl who becomes a zombie, and she has a man crush who's kind of into zombies and happens to be into her. And so the plot of the series is they try to find a cure for her. She has this really weird desire. Instead of trying to find this cure, she wants to live life and do all these things, which, granted, if she is dying, maybe I'm going to get a little bit better lighting in here. If that is the case, then maybe trying to find what you want to do in that time before you die, maybe that is the best way to go. That's some of the points they try to make in this series. And we get some other side characters. The main character, Furuya, I'm assuming most people watching this have actually read the manga series, because I don't find that many people who are just like, ooh, let me watch reviews for manga that I've never heard of. But assuming you don't know, Furuya, the main character, he's this funny drawn character. He looks like a cat, and his little chibi forms that are for comedic moments, it's pretty much just like a cat on a human body. He's like a standard, male, I'm gonna save this girl and do these things kind of guy. At the same time, he's still comical, he's fun, he's a good guy. And we have some more interesting side characters. He has a cousin who's this big breast fan service girl, but at the same time, she's fun as all hell, and she, if anything, even though they're cousins, that weird thing where you want to ship them, but you can't because their family in Japan is fucked up like that, and they like to play with your emotions. He has a little sister who they also, I really fucking hate Japan. They draw her in fan service scenes, despite the fact that she's really fucking young. It's really fucking gross. I really fucking hate Japan's weird pedophile system. I'm just gonna call it that, where they let little girls be sexualized. Whatever. I'm not gonna get into that. And then we have some other characters. Furuya's grandfather, who seems to be the reason zombies exist in this world is because Furuya creates a cure that he got from a book that we find out was created by his grandfather. His grandfather has dementia, so it's hard to get information from him. And right after we get through what happened in the anime pretty fast. I blazed through those chapters. And then we get into a lot more interesting stuff. A lot more actual zombie related stuff. We get to meet a new character named Darren, who wasn't in the anime. She was, shown right at the end as a little teaser. She's great. Again, she's sexualized despite her age, and she's drawn much older than she is. But past that, she's like kind of a bitch. She's kind of, a little bit ruthless. She had an upbringing that makes sense. Her father is a questionable. Like, is this guy gonna be a villain? Is he gonna be like this bigger character? I'm not gonna maybe I'll get into spoilers here in a minute, but for now I'm not gonna go too much into what he does for a living. And we get into some more characters. We have Babu, who's a cat that Furuya has and is actually a big part in the plot. And that's about it. There's some more supporting roles. Ria, the zombie girl, her parents. And, just little characters like the friends of the main characters, stuff like that. And the heart of the series, it's a fun series, but at the same time, it's kind of like, it gets really dark towards the end of this. The end of this thing really teases the idea that the main girl who's a zombie is just gonna turn into like a full-blood zombie. I didn't even mention this. She's not like a zombie. She's like the 2018 nowadays version of zombies, where there's like an example shows like iZombie, that movie, Warm Bodies, where it's like we're not really zombies, but if we don't eat brains or if we're not doing etc., or in this case not eating this like poison leaf thing, then they'll turn into actual zombies. I like that concept. I've now seen it enough times where I'm not like, I think it's this cool thing or anything. And what they do with it is interesting. There's a romance between Ria and the main character, Furuya, Chihiro, I should call him by his actual name. They have a romance together, and that's teased a lot, and there's love triangle things going on, your usual cliche stuff. Ria is interesting in this fact that she's like this bubbly-eyed girl who's like also turns into a zombie, and at the same time you root for her. She's trying to be independent. The last scene of this manga pictures her very her resolution was great. Getting into the spoilers, I think I need to get into spoilers, but before the people who haven't read the series go, I would recommend this show. If you want to get a taste, maybe just read the first chapter or so, watch an episode of the anime. It's like the ratings I saw on Mal and from YouTube comments, they all seem positive. I haven't met more than one or two or I haven't seen any comments or anything like that from people who dislike the series other than a couple, but that's to be expected with everything. It's like a charming, easy show with an actual kind of darker, thicker plot, and some of the characters are really likable too. If you want to skip to the end of the review to see my score, you can. But for now, spoilers. Oh man, I don't even know where to start. Okay, first off, everything from the anime, right at episode 12, where the dad leaves, goes on his trip. We find out Chihiro can kind of do he can take a little bit of zombie poison and get zombie abilities. And Darren, she got those powers. I thought Darren was great. I thought Ronko, I guess there's a little bit of confusion as to what her name is, and I was reading this on my phone, and whenever you're reading something on your phone, there's a chance you're gonna read some fan translated stuff. I think most of what I read for the series was fan translated because I did not have the physical copies. So there was confusion with the translators over what this fucking bitch's name was. Oh my god. But Ronko, her biggest scene was she took the poison. It's so sad when you see characters who love the main character or any other character, and that character doesn't have the same love for them, because I think that's a real thing with actual people, and it's like a tragic feeling. And that's kind of why, a part of me, rooted for them as a couple. And I didn't, Ria and Furuya, they don't have, the best chemistry. They're cute together. But at the same time, they just didn't click, I thought. And Marrow, I remember saying, is it Meryl or Marrow? I don't know. I remember saying that she was like my favorite character from the anime. I don't know if reading the manga it translated quite as well. A lot of what I liked about her in the anime was just like her demeanor, like the stuff that it comes from like visual medium, where she like her voice, her like drawl, her like eyes that like were always kind of like not even like she was always sleepy. I love that kind of stuff. Those are the things I loved about her, and it's hard to draw those things. But she was still, very useful. She was still, this like amazing sister character who like is like into cleaning and do like all that stuff. I don't like the fan service. I feel like sometimes like I hate it when I like a character for who they are and like part of me like is like are they giving them those personality traits for fan service? Is some kind of weird otaku thing where they want like these weird little girls to do all their chores for them? I don't know. I really hope that's not why. But I'm going on another tangent. We get to this island, and on this island is where they're doing all the zombie research, and this is where Darren's dad works. This is where the series got all fucked up. They take out parts of Ria's brain, so she has memory loss, and it doesn't ever get cured. She's permanently stuck with this memory loss, and she regains some of the memory. She regains the memories, like when she eats Furuya's heart or whatever. But I don't know, they didn't really elaborate if she got like all the memories or just the ones with him. Point is, like, this whole part, like, effed her up as a character. Not in like effed up like they ruined her, but they like completely different turn. And meanwhile they tried to just kill Chihiro on the spot. Not many shows or stories do that, where the main villain like is just kind of welcoming them in and then they try to kill them. Very different stuff, and I love, oh my god, Chihiro's grandfather coming in clutch. Oh my god, he's this little old man, and he got that big ass backstory. It got as big and convoluted as it could have. I applaud them for doing all that much with the character who, in the anime, they didn't do a whole lot with. You obviously knew he had more to his character, but and then we got Darren's father who, like, had this weird complex where I said she. It's a he, it looks like a she. Where, I don't know, and in the past, it showed clips from him in the past, and he looked more like a dude, so I don't know what's going on there. Maybe becoming a zombie makes you more feminine, I don't know. But Darren's father had this weird complex where he was, like, really into these little zombie children, and he would try to cure them, and he didn't care about his own daughter, and he didn't care about his wife. None of it made any sense. He was completely obsessed with his research, and like, despicable guy, he hit Darren, all of that stuff. Yeah, real douchebag. And he went out, best kill ever, the owl, him flying over with the girl's head, all of that. That was so dramatic of a kill, but it was great. And, Darren as a character, I think that's where she, she got her, what is the word, closure. And meanwhile, Chihiro's grandfather and this woman that he went way back with, they died at the same time. It was a very sad part. And that's when the climax happened. That's when Ria went full-blown zombie and got caught up in the school. Furuya went to go, try to save her. And she eats him. She completely eats him. Or so we think. It was so crazy. I thought they were going for this really dark ending. I was completely fooled because they were on funeral scenes. Once you get to funeral scenes in movies or games or whatever, that's when it's over for that character. But no, he turned up. It turns out he got an artificial heart and all this other stuff. And, they went on this dream fake date thing. Oh, it was crazy. And then Ria was just living in the woods. Crazy stuff. And then Furuya comes back. They tease the fact that they might be getting together. You don't really know. This is the closure you come for in manga. And that's where the series ends. And then we get a little after chapter where Ria is still living in the forest. We see these two children who are obviously descendants of Furuya. and Chihiro, I should say. And we're not really sure who he got with in the end, like, because Ria says, like, say hi to your grandmother for me, which would either be Ronko Wonko or Darren, and I really hope it's not Meryl. So that's where it gets a little bit messy, because it leaves it open, like, which one did he choose? Like, why would she, like, I read a whole discussion board about just, like, what did this mean? Who are these people's kids? Like, what little personality traits did they take from their grandfathers? All of this, like, these family trees, these possible, like, things that could end up to these two characters existing. These two characters who aren't even, like, that interesting, and they make, like, dumb jokes and nudity jokes with. Crazy stuff. Really interesting way to end it. I like the idea of Ria evolving as this kind of like woman who lives in the woods, and you know, she's such a free spirit that it like made a lot of sense. Like she went from like she didn't care about living in this mansion. She's okay living in the woods with like having this mask on that makes her look like this evil thing. I really liked the design she had, like when she was like this woodland zombie lady who's like been here for like 100 years. I really like that closure. I just think the whole family tree thing, and like, did it cancel out the relationship that Ria and Chihiro had? Like, I thought, I don't know, a lot of interesting things going on with the ending here. It gave closure, but at the same time it left a lot in the open. I don't really like when stories leave things in the open. I do I like the idea of leaving things in the open, but I just want closure to the stories. I don't like the idea of starting a relationship, teasing other relationship ideas, and then just like putting your hands up and being like, yep, that's it. I think it's romance where it's like, you can't leave romance in the open. Like, it's a hard thing. I don't know. It's the choice the author made. I'm gonna respect it. And, whew, that was a lot of spoiler talk. I really want to know what your guys' thoughts are. I know that, like, I looked up other manga reviews on YouTube. I didn't see a whole lot, so the more discussion we could get here, the better. I thought this was a really interesting manga. I was really just reading this on my phone, like, in times I wasn't doing anything, like car rides, stuff like that. It was a really good show for that because, you know, it wasn't super serious. It did get dark and serious towards the end, but it was still, you know, a light show with a light premise and characters who are, you know, fun to watch. It was pretty long, 56 chapters. With that much material, I probably could have read something a little bit more, like, I don't know, important. I don't want to say that, but like something that more people are talking about or whatever. But I thought it was an interesting read. I really liked furthering my thoughts on the anime, and yeah, I think that's everything. If I had to rate this, I would give it a 7 out of 10. And sure, that doesn't mean anything because it's one of the first manga I've ever read, but that's the whole point of the series. Where are we going to go in the future? What other manga am I possibly going to read? If you guys have suggestions, I would love to see them down below. Anyway, I think I'm going to cut this at that. Thank you so much for watching, as always, guys, and with that, I leave you.